Welcome to this month's episode of the Power Up Notes for March 2026. In this episode, I cover some family-friendly games that came out this month, what's new this month in the world of Linux, explain why I think age verification should not be part of the OS, and shine a spotlight on ClamAV, an awesome antivirus utility for Linux Mint that gets a bad rap from the graphics user interface, which is a separate package. Now, let's go to game notes. Well, folks, it's time for game notes. First up, we have Pokemon Pokepedia, who came out on March 5th. Yes, that's a Switch 2 game. I'm not too interested in it but it's a new life sim there where you can befriend Pokemon by mimicking them. Also for the Switch 2, today, Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 edition came out, which comes with a new social meetup mode. I really haven't played them. I really don't play that many games on this. I don't have a Switch 2, so I really don't care about it. I never even got the Switch for that matter. I prefer my Wii and my Wii U. I mean, if I could, I would get the Super Mario Kart and the Super Mario Bros. For the Wii U. If I could get those hands on my discs, even though they're very expensive, I would love to buy them and play them. Also, earlier, alongside Pokemon Pokepedia, Planet of the Two Children of the Leaf came out, which is a non-violent atmospheric puzzle platformer suitable for all ages, as well as Timberborn's full release came out. That's a one where it's post-apocalyptic world where beavers are sentient and can speak, and you have to help them build a civilization. It's awesome for if you enjoy engineering and resource management challenges. It's quite fun. The game has changed quite a bit. I might consider doing a series for it in the future, but that's the future. And well, really that's all I've got for the game notes, so it's time for kernel notes. Welcome back, and it's kernel notes time. Let's get started with what's happening around the awesome world of Linux. First of all, the Intel Flexible Return and Event Delivery, or FRED for short, enablement has took place. Now, a major patch for that was posted on March 23rd to enable that by default, offering significant performance gains for upcoming Intel and AMD processors. I mean, that's pretty big. Being able to use the latest processors and gain the most out of them, that's always a good thing. Also, Kali Linux 2026.1 20th anniversary came out, and it features a backtrack mode to recreate the look of the classic 2006 environment. So if you're using Kali Linux and you want to go back to the 2006 version, now's your chance to do so. Also, the Linux kernel is now Linux 7.0-RC5 for its development. Well, that's not publicly yet, but it's being developed up to there, and it's released in a stable. The Linux kernel development phase is finding somewhere stable before it gets released to us users. So let's stay. Hopefully that keeps going, and well, we have a lot of awesome stuff. But now, folks, it's time for that editorial you guys are probably wanting to hear. So stick around. That's next. And now it's time for the editorial. Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I think that no matter what, I strongly believe that age verification should not be at the OS level. Website levels makes much more sense to me, and same for the app, and maybe on the app as well, but not in the OS itself. That is going too far and invades our privacy way too much. I believe that's not being used for the so-called "it's for the children" excuse. No, I believe that's to track us and to enable us and to take away our privacy. This needs to stop. For one thing, all these age verification laws are being pushed by Meta secretly in the United States. It's got they've set up a $2 billion lobby, and it's backed by Meta, literally backed by Meta and Zuckerberg himself, to mandate get age category APIs within operating system. This is totally against what Linux stands for, and I will not. And I will fight this with all my being. I do not believe this is right or proper, and I believe that we should stand up as a community and say, no, this is something we do not want. Do not put this into law. And tell our lawmakers, this is not what we want. It creates a permanent. Besides doing such a thing, it will create a permanent identity layer in any OS that implements it. That means you'll always be able to say this is who's using this computer at this moment when you're out online. That's dangerous. It encourages if your computer gets hacked, your identity gets stolen. I mean, it's way too dangerous. Or if a rogue piece of software gets installed on your computer without your knowledge, it can steal that information. It's not good. And it's like, I mean, it allows apps to query the so-called age brackets without you authorizing it. At least in the current system, you have to authorize your age being told if you want to access certain content. I don't mind age gaining when it's not in my operating system, but when it's part of my operating system, that's when I have a problem with it. And besides, this is pushing I think Meta and Google and other social platforms want this, so they can push the liability from them to the operating system people. They don't have to risk the huge fines and stuff by people. I mean, they're erasing how people are, how they're getting how fines are acting, and how laws are tightening. They figure, oh, if we push this to the operating system, we don't have to worry about fines anymore. That's no longer our problem. All we gotta do is query that age bracket thing, and if it doesn't supply it, then we're not the ones to blame. It's the OS providers who can get blamed and fined. And it goes against the free operating system. And really, it cripples smaller independent things like Linux Mint, Pop! OS, Kashi, all the small Linux distros out there. In fact, the problem with this also is that all of them are so don't have a central. There's usually not just one person who's in charge of these projects. They're a vast group spread out across the whole world who are making these operating systems. It's not just it's just a group of people, say in Seattle. Like that's where Microsoft is, or Silicon Valley. That's where Google is. Those people, or Apple, which is also in Silicon Valley. Those are easy to target because they're you know where to go to target those. You know who's developing those Apples and Macs and Androids. You know who to target for those fines. But I really think that this is going to be almost impossible to enforce on open source. And operating systems because they're so spread out. So really, these laws, I really think they're pointless. But they're trying. But like I said, they're trying to force us to be tracked. I don't like that, and I think it's wrong. I think the only time that I should be required to give my age is if I want to access adult material on a website, and then it's gotta be because I chose to give that information freely. If not, then it's a bit of a hard problem. But now, folks, with this editorial being done, it's time for the spotlight. This month's spotlight is on ClamAV, the antivirus utility for Linux via the command line. It's got a low rating in the Linux Mint repository of just 3.4, but honestly, it's been security patched on March 4th this month to Clam version AV1 version 1.52 and a 1.44 long-term support version as well, and which fixed a critical denial of service vulnerability CVE-2026-20031. And there's three reasons why I believe it's only got a 3.4 rating on the Linux Mint software manager. It's an on-demand scanner, not a real-time active shield, for one. Two, its GUI is, like I said, out of date, and it's a legacy software, so it's not really up to compared to the rest of Linux Mint. It's not very fancy. It's pretty basic. Plus some of the time it doesn't work, and the database updates by FreshClam can cause hardware spikes on older hardware. Despite that, I like it. I think it works great personally. I recommend that recommended usage is for scanning stuff that you might be scanning files that you might be bringing over from a Windows machine, because they might have a virus on it. So that's via external media, whether that be a USB drive or a DVD or a CD or however, or even via a shared resource like a server. I recommend strongly that ClamAV scan those things unless you strongly can trust the source of the file. Plus, if you want, you can force an update by using commands in the terminal, because the ClamTK, which is a completely separate package, by the way, from ClamAV, it's just the GUI version of the command line, Clam line interface of this software, and it doesn't have the permission to properly interact with systemctl. And here's the commands that'll help you update it if ClamTK tells you that your software is updated. And this is the power move that you can use. 1. Open the terminal. 2. Stop the background updater using sudo systemctl space stop space clamav dash freshclam. That's just one dash between those, not two. 3. Manually run the updater sudo freshclam. And then after that's done, restart the background service sudo systemctl start clamav dash freshclam. And between each of those words, don't forget space. I will be sharing these commands also on the blog, so if you would like to look up these commands again, I will be posting them to the blog. But other than that, that's all for this month's episode of the Power Up Notes. So until the next video or next post on Signilla Ice, I hope you all have a blessed time, and I will see you next time. Until then, God bless, and Goodbye. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or follow if you're on Rumble, share, and of course, comment. See you next time.